why you support a president who contributes to the rhetoric that got your friend Charlie killed. We saw his rally recently. He said, "I hate my enemies."
I hate my opponent.
His Stephen Miller said similar things.
You are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing.
How can you support him when he contributed to what got Charlie killed?
Assumes facts, not in evidence. What you said is not true.
70% of political violence is committed by Republicans.
Okay.
Look it up.
That's not
DOJ
true either.
just pulled it. The DOJ just pulled it from their website. DOJ just pulled the study from their website because they're delusional.
That's not true because
They just pulled it. Look it up.
Once you pull
DOJ pulled it from their website.
Once you pull the crazies out of there, it is overwhelmingly left-wing violence.
The US Department of Justice deleted one of its own studies from its website, a study that concluded that far-right extremists had killed more Americans, in fact, than left-wing or radical Islamists. It was first flagged by a PhD student by the name of Daniel Malmer, who is studying online extremism. He had been monitoring the page, and in fact, he found that it had disappeared from the internet between the 12th and the 13th of September. So that's just days after Charlie Kirk was shot by a gunman on the 10th of September. And he noted that the last date of accessibility for that study on the DOJ website was the 12th of September.
So first of all, let me take on the first part of the premise of your question, that it was President Trump's rhetoric that led to an assassin killing our friend Charlie Kirk. That's a blatant lie, it's a defamatory blaspheme, and it's inappropriate in this setting.
That's not what I said.
We know, yes it is.
No, I said he contributed to the political atmosphere.
Well, then you have no point.
tension.
Then your point is utterly empty.
What
Contributing to the atmosphere.
This
guy was, no, let's just make clear. This guy was motivated by leftist ideology.
The federal investigation has found no evidence connecting the suspect with any left-wing groups.
Shocker.
So then you're saying, because, let's say this guy's a leftist, even if that's true, does that make it okay for the sitting president of the United States to incite violence against liberals?
The President of the United States has not accepted violence against liberals. The President of the United States made a joke at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, which was funny and self-deprecating.
Charlie Kirk's memorial was a grotesque, hate-filled spectacle. It was a fascist rally for Donald Trump and the Republican Party. It was not a moment of remembrance, but an opportunity to weaponize his death in service of their movement.
Charlie Kirk is a martyr in the true Christian tradition. The martyr Stephen was the same age as Charlie Kirk when he was martyred. The power of Christ's blood and the power of martyrdom speaks through Charlie.
Charlie joined a long line of courageous men and women who were martyred for what they believe.
My friends, for Charlie, we must remember that he is a hero to the United States of America, and he is a martyr for the Christian faith.
He's a martyr now for American freedom.
Charlie Kirk was not a Christian and is definitely not a martyr, and you don't have to look past the things he said to realize that.
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? It almost creates thought patterns that are not necessarily wholesome. You're going to remove my appendix and you're a black lesbian.
I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving. You know, this is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic, they think this is persuasive. They think we're like, oh, of course, that's why we need affirmative action, because you have impressed us with your brilliance.
Any real follower of Christ would not say any of these types of vile things.
By the way, this is my other problem with death penalty. It takes too long, too many appeals.
Expensive.
It should be public, it should be quick, it should be televised.
Someone who claims to be a Christian would never use their platform to spread hate.
We're not going to talk about how homosexuality is a sin or transgenderism is bad.
Where we were told that the alphabet mafia, they get gay marriage, which we never should have allowed to happen.
But regardless of his clear anti-Christian values, MAGA doesn't care. I mean, just look at how the evangelical community has turned a blind eye to Donald Trump's illegal behavior and past crimes. At the end of the day, MAGA and the right will milk Charlie Kirk's assassination dry for years to come. It's an insanely convenient vehicle for them to continue peddling victimhood, grievance, and faux sanctity. But this next part was an even wilder choice, turning a memorial into a WWE entrance with fireworks. Seriously, here's Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica's entrance. mean, theatrics, a choreographed display of tears and forgiveness to help amplify Kirk as a martyr and spread their narrative. The media has a tendency to immediately believe this kind of narrative spin, and from what I've seen thus far, they are normalizing this whole event as a somber remembrance of someone who helped spread hate. Like I said, some people have said that this whole memorial service was in bad taste, and while I'm not about to tell someone how to grieve, I personally can't imagine posting a video like this to Instagram.
God bless you.
I hope we can all agree that something so deeply intimate and sensitive should probably stay private instead of being filmed for public consumption, but hey, then again, the Republican Party does a lot when it comes to theatrics.
People do funerals in their own way. I'm interested in your take on whether this was a Christian nationalist event. We hear that term a lot. I've done a lot of material on it. Christian nationalism. First of all, how do you define it? Are you one? And is it a good thing?
Well, you're making it sound like it's a bad thing.
I just set it up.
I'm a Christian, and
Christian nationalist we're talking about. How do you define?
How do you define? What do you define it as?
The inappropriate commingling of politics and Christianity in a country that is supposed to have a separation of church and state.
Awkward. Looking at those who attended, Elon Musk made sure to take advantage of the political opportunity and make amends with Trump. I use amends pretty liberally here. Remember when Musk said on Twitter that Trump was in the Epstein files? I honestly can't believe they almost let a little human trafficking of minors get between their friendship. Musk wrote on Twitter, "For Charlie." I'm sorry, but what the hell do you mean, for Charlie? You mean like you forgave a pedophile and best friend to a sex trafficker for Charlie Kirk? I think for Jeffrey is more fitting. Now, besides Elon, Trump's cabinet made sure to attend. I don't know about you, but I am so glad they were able to clear their busy schedules for Charlie Kirk's memorial. Sure would be nice for them to care this much when classrooms full of kids are slaughtered by guns. Now, MAGA could have used the event to tone down the rhetoric and help lower the temperature, but nope, they turned it into a vehicle to amplify their lies, spread more hate, and turn grief into a campaign stunt. One person in particular from Donald Trump's staff made sure to use this event as a Nazi rally, and that person would be Stephen Miller, who plagiarized Joseph Goebbels' 1930 speech, "The Storm is Coming."
The light will defeat the dark. We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy.
So not only are they vile, but they can't even write their own hate speeches, which makes sense when you remember that paid Russian propagandist and serial plagiarist Benny Johnson also gave a speech. This was not a memorial, this was an excuse to put on a hate rally. Worship and hate speech do not belong together. So going with the theme, Tucker Carlson showed up and delivered an anti-Semitic innuendo.
Jesus shows up and he starts talking about the people in power, and he starts doing the worst thing that you can do, which is telling the truth about people, and they hate it, and they just go bonkers. They hate it, and they become obsessed with making him stop. This guy's got to stop talking. We've got to shut this guy up. And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about what do we do about this guy telling the truth about us? We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I can just hear him say, "I've got an idea, why don't we just kill him? That'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem."
The anti-Semitic rant and his weird cackling laugh were definitely a choice during a eulogy. Which brings us to Donald Trump, who took the stage to stand behind bulletproof glass. Which is pretty interesting considering the fact that this is a memorial service for someone who said a few gun deaths a year are worth it to have the Second Amendment.
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
Again, Charlie Kirk is not a martyr. Now, during Trump's eulogy, he made sure to do what he does best, make it about himself.
He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent.
Way to totally undermine the message of forgiveness that Charlie's wife Erica just talked about. Trump once again proved that he only cares about himself, and the only reason that he agreed to headline Charlie Kirk's memorial was to selfishly use it as a way to talk about the things that he's doing.
Just like Charlie and Erica made Turning Point hot, we are looking at a country that has the chance to attain a level like never before. Tariffs are making us rich again, richer than anybody ever thought was possible. And the only one challenging them are people that hate our country or foreign countries that are paying a price, because they did the same thing to us for years. They took advantage of us, but we're making money. We're becoming richer and richer. And we're taking care of our people better and better when we do that. And we can take care of other countries better and better.
You sure about that? Until the federal government steps in to save them, farmers have no one to turn to but God.
Agriculture has taken a heck of a hit on a lot of misinformation, and he is not helping the farmer. When are you going to stand up for us instead of kissing his ass for these trade deals? And the tariffs. More so the tariffs than the trade. A dismal global market and plunging commodity prices mean there's little to no hope of breaking even for many farmers, even as sky-high input costs rise because of inflation and now tariffs.
We want to take our money. We're doing well. Because of tariffs, we're doing unbelievable. We're making more money than we ever have made. And by the way, we're going to take some of that tariff money that we made, just to get off the subject for a second. We're going to take some of that tariff money that we made, we're going to give it to our farmers, who are, for a little while, going to be hurt until it kicks in. The tariffs kick into their benefit. So we're going to make sure that our farmers are in great shape, because we're taking in a lot of money.
Sure, Jan.
This narcissist even took the opportunity to announce the biggest medical breakthrough in American history and claim that they found an answer to autism.
Right, make America healthy again. We're going to have one of the biggest announcements, really medically, I think, in the history of our country. We're going to be doing it with Bobby and Oz and all of the professionals. I think you're going to find it to be amazing. I think we found an answer to autism. How about that? Autism.
Trump couldn't go a second without making it about himself. I mean, completely sucking the life out of the room.
You are one pathetic loser.
Seriously, imagine telling someone a month ago that Trump was going to announce the cure for autism at Charlie Kirk's memorial. Oh, and in case you miss it, the cause of autism is
Tylenol.
Which means Tylenol is about to have a huge lawsuit against the government.
If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol during pregnancy. It can be associated with a very increased risk of autism.
Oh my God, the term autism was first used in 1911, and the earliest research that was focused on children with autism was in the 1920s. Tylenol was invented in 1955.
What an idiot!
These two morons are seriously going to make polio great again, and inevitably kill us all. I mean, just listen to RFK Jr. talk about lizard brains in his eulogy.
And this was important, particularly important during a technological age, when we are all hooked into social rhythms, social algorithms that are hacked into the reptilian cores of our brain.
Call me crazy, but I think the guy who literally had a brainworm should probably lay off eulogies about brains. Erica Kirk then came back on stage to hug Donald Trump, and it was incredibly awkward and cringy. I mean, right from the jump, this moment of Trump smirking reminded me of this scene from Wedding Crashers.
Damn you, Roger. Roger.
Holy shit, dancing! Does Trump know how to function at a funeral? I'm sorry, what's that? He's done this awkward dancing thing before.
This is a man's world. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
And by the end of the event, MAGA, the people who claim that they voted for Donald Trump because things were too expensive, left behind so many chairs and coolers at the Charlie Kirk Memorial that ATF bomb squads had to investigate. Thanks for watching What Was That? If you want more episodes, articles, and breakdowns, go to whatwasthat.show. Join the community and become a paid subscriber today. It's just me behind the scenes, so every bit of support really makes a difference. And if you'd rather listen on the go, you can find What Was That on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows. Until next time, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That?